Hi there! This video will be the latest part of explanation regarding later stages in the development of a group. Me, Ide Kurnia Swasti, MPSI Psikolog, as your group counseling lecturer. Do you still remember the previous explanation about the fifth stage of group counseling? Okay, I will give you a short review of its summary. During the final stage of a group, there are characteristics that very obvious. Yeah, members may have issues about their hopes and concern for another after the group ends. They are likely to pull back and participate in less intense ways in anticipation of the ending of the group, and they may be talked about follow-up meetings or some plan for accountability so that members will be encouraged to carry out their plans for change. This is very interesting. In the fifth stage, members function and possible problems as they entering the fifth sessions or the fifth stage, that they have to deal with their feelings and thoughts about separation and termination. That's one of their tasks, yeah, for members at the fifth stage. They need to complete any unfinished businesses, either issues they have brought into the group or issues that pertain to people in the group during the sessions. They have to make decisions and plan concerning ways they can generalize what they have learned to everyday situations after the group really ends. Help members gain the maximum benefit of the group counseling process, the leader should focus on these several tasks. The first one is reinforce changes members have made and ensure that members have information about resources to enable them to make further changes. Assist member in determining how they will apply specific skills in a variety of situations in daily life, including helping them to develop specific contracts and action plans aimed at change. All of these were are done in the fifth stage. The group leader help members to conceptualize what is taking place in the group and identify key turning points. He or she can also create an aftercare plan for members to use at a later point. So this is the bridging statement to the sixth stage, the post-group evaluations and follow-up session. Well, I would like to highlight that the last session of the group is not a signal that the leader's job is finished. For there are important considerations after termination. Two issues are dynamically related to the successful completion of a group's development, namely evaluation and follow-up. To aid this work, consider the following questions. First, what is the group leader's responsibility in evaluating the outcomes of a group? The second one, how can the leader help members evaluate the effectiveness of their group experience? The third one is what kind of follow-up should be provided after termination of a group? And the last question is what are the ethical considerations in evaluating a group and arranging for follow-up procedures? Okay, let's move on to the first issues. our topic about the evaluation. Evaluation is a basic aspect of any group experience, and it can be benefit both members and the leader. The ethical practice requires a realistic assessment of the learning that has occurred, the learning process that has occurred during the session. Evaluation is not a procedure to use only at the termination of a group actually, but yeah, it is very significant to understand the change, to compare members' condition before the sessions and after a series of sessions that he or she has joined. In many agencies, group counselors are required to use objective measures as means of demonstrating the effectiveness of a group. The objective measures such as questionnaires or guided interview, yeah, that are done before as a pre-test before the group sessions and after the group session as the post-test. Okay. A willingness to build evaluation into the structure of the group is bound to result in improving the design of future groups. So the evaluation will not only be beneficial for members but also for the leader if the leader continue their work, his or her work in the group settings, in the future group settings, because it can increase the leader's professional credibility and accountability. Generally, I ask people before they enter a group to put down in writing what their concerns are and what they expect from the group. This is if we're talking about this, so we when we go back to the initial stage, right? The preparation stage. Yeah, so I ask people before they enter the group by writing down what their concerns are and what they expect from the group, and I strongly encourage them to keep an ongoing journal throughout the sessions. It consists their experiences in the group and in their everyday life as well between the session. So in the next session, I can discuss it with the group members. A kind of writing that I usually use, for example, is the journal, a daily journal. The journal writing gives members a chance to recall significant occurrence in the group and helps them identify what specifically they liked most and least about the group. The writing process itself is a useful tool for self-evaluation and is in itself therapeutic. The second topic is the follow-up group session. It is wise at the final session of a group to decide on a time for a follow-up session to discuss the group experience and put it in perspective. This session is valuable not only because it offers the group leader an opportunity to assess the outcomes of the group, but also because it gives members the chance to gain a more realistic picture of the impact the group has had on them and their peers. At this follow-up session, the members can report the difficulties, if any, the difficulties that they have encountered after the last session, share the joys and success as well that they have experienced in the daily life, and recall some of the things that occurred in the group. A follow-up session also provides people with the opportunity to express and work through any afterthoughts or feelings connected with the group experience. It is also a good time to assist members in locating specific referral resources for further growth once the group ends. All members can be encouraged to find some avenues of continued support and challenge so that the ending of the group can mark the beginning of new search for self-understanding. In summary, just like what I have mentioned more than once before, that the stages in the life of a group do not generally flow neatly and predictably in the order described in my explanations in this video and also in the previous videos. In actuality, there is considerable overlap between stages, and once a group moves to an advanced stage of development, there may be temporary regressions to earlier developmental stages of a group. However, knowledge of the major tasks that commonly confront members and the leader during the different stages of the group's evolution enables you to intervene at the right time and with a clear purpose. Having a clear grasp of typical stages of group development gives you a conceptual map from which to operate. Well, thank you for staying tuned, and I hope this helped you to understand the stages in the group counseling development. Bye!